Hello happy gardeners! Welcome back to Stinky Nursery. We got Charlie White on camera. Say hello, Chuck.
Hello.
And today we are planting spring onions. You can put these on your windowsill in the kitchen. You get your lovely little spring onions growing and you can put them in your food. Perfect, perfect. So for this we'll need a container, recycled, with drainage holes at the bottom. Stick it on there, stab it with a screwdriver. Lovely drainage holes. Pair of glasses, a seed compost. Get yourself a seed compost. Don't use multi-purpose stuff. Give it a good sieve. If you have got multi-purpose, stick a bit of sand and a bit of mud in with it as well, and give it a good old sieve, and you'll have some lovely seed compost. We also need a label that we've clearly marked, and the seed. So we open the packet of seed by just ripping off the top and then popping it open. Don't blow in the bag because the seeds will get wet, and if you're not using them all, they won't be used. They won't be for... Oh, wait a minute, fill the pot up. Oh, I'm getting in a right fluster here, Chart. Right, so first you fill the pot up. There we go. This compost is really quite damp already, so I'm not going to water it, but normally at this point I put it on the ground and we give it a bit of water. Leave a nice gap at the top so that when water sits on it, it will sink down into it. We then get the seeds and pop them onto my mucky hand. And I'll top out a few like this. Now with your spring onions, I'm going to plant them in a couple of rows. Now, get your hand like that, give it a tap, get your groove going, Charlie, and then I'm going to do 3 rows of them. All right, so when these start coming up, you don't have to actually you thin them through using them, if you see what I mean. You just sort of go for the bigger ones, and when you do start to harvest your spring onions, don't start from one end and move your way along. Take them from in between, like that, and then the ones in between will have more space and they'll grow a bit bigger. Right, lovely. I've got that like that. I'm now going to cover it with a bit of gritty sand. I'm doing this because it stops the weeds growing quite so much. Ideally you want the sand to be sort of 2 times the width of the seed, if you see what I mean. The depth of the seed, and you want a couple of times the depth of the seed on top of the seed. So there we go. But it doesn't really matter that much. I'm going to stick the label in that, and I'm going to pop that on the side, and we're going to get some lovely spring onions coming up. You can stick these things outside in an unheated greenhouse as well as on your windowsill in the kitchen. This has been Robbie Phoenix and Charlie Watt on camera down at Stinky Nursery. If you want to check out some flowers or some other stuff, not spring onions I'm afraid, check us out at www.stinkyditchnursery.co.uk. Thanks.